Despite 2020 being filled with COVID and the pandemic, a lot of people believe that it actually presented unprecedented opportunities for companies in the right industries, specifically cannabis. So we're going to ask the question, is the future of cannabis in the hands of e-commerce? Coming up.
It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast.
A lot of people shifted towards either pickup, in the parking lot or online. And a lot of people were in the rec shops were offering discounts, 10%, for example, to order online. So get people in and out really quick. Companies were developing apps for cannabis delivery, all of that kind of speeding things up. And then according to a report from the United Nations, e-commerce sales spiked on a global scale. So Latin America, Africa, China, Thailand, they all experienced huge sales volume increases, sometimes up as much as 50% compared to the previous quarter. North America was a similar story. Amazon, for example, recorded profits of $6 billion, marking a 200% increase since the onset of the pandemic. So a lot of people, grocery shopping, for example, forget about it. People started quitting. I personally was done. And so I started ordering online, even though I don't want people picking my vegetables for me. The only thing worse than that is going in and doing it myself and it taking forever. So I've shifted my consumer behavior, and I think a lot of people have as well. Cannabis, yeah, you can't grab your particular bag, but in Washington, you can't pick a particular nug. So if you know what you want and the brand is consistent, it doesn't really matter. You're just if you consume as much as I do, you're going to go back and buy that next bag anyways. So a lot of people are more interested in price and convenience. Those are top two decision makers for anybody. And so for reasons that may be more complicated than just accessibility, most cannabis industries missed out on the opportunity. So a report from Canada shows that cannabis consumption increased by as much as 50% after the pandemic. And another showed that cannabis users sustained the increase as the pandemic prolonged. So unprecedented demand for an easier pathway for consumer products. But the key to delivering into the industry's untapped potential lies in part with the hands of the e-commerce integration. A lot of people haven't actually implemented that. Only 23% of the stores I went to in 2020 had that option. I was shocked. We're in Seattle. There's, Microsoft. Everyone is coming over here from Silicon Valley. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why more people aren't offering that here. I would imagine that maybe that's the same no matter where you go. California people were offering it. There was massive shutdowns. You didn't even have the option with delivery. Shoot, you're going to take that. But even since, I think in May of this year, people were going into the stores kind of shifting and buying less because they have your cap, right? $65 minimum. So people didn't want to spend that much. They're going in more often, but spending less. So it's a matter of convenience. It's also a matter of, affordability too. So the cannabis space is a big opportunity headed into 2022. Over the last 3 years, kind of worked and seen a lot of companies try this since 2019, 2020, 2021. Maybe eventually they'll get that all figured out and bigger incentives than just 10% to order online. I've also found that ordering stuff and then you get there and they don't have it. That's kind of a pain. Or you try to order something and it says you're capped out on your daily limit. Like you try to buy an ounce and it says that you're trying to buy more than that, or, whatever your limits are in your area. So kind of growing pains, but it's, about convenience. So hopefully they're going to be able to offer delivery in Washington State. I think that's going to be coming up in maybe 2023. At the earliest. There's just not a whole lot of room for anything else here locally. But, once we get federal legalization, then that's obviously going to be a no-brainer because everybody else is already delivering. We saw Uber getting into the game, and everyone's going to be paying really, really close attention to that whole thing and how that works out. There was no backlash to them getting in there. So from an investment standpoint, it really is going to open up the doors for 2022 for a lot of companies to come in and look at kind of gobbling up what's available as we look at the next 3-4 years of the last of being kind of regulated but not legal. After that, things are going to change, and they're going to have to make this federally legal. As Mexico and Germany and other countries are getting on board, you're going to need to fill the void left by printing of the money. Quantitative easing is over printing by the feds, and so make that revenue via cannabis. It's going to come. There's going to be a lot of consolidation in the meantime. And a lot of companies are going to be bought out. I don't think some of these bloated companies like Square are going to really take off. They're going to come in and they're going to grab some market share, and they'll be acquiring other companies that are doing this already. It's very specific to high SKUs. You might have 2,000 SKUs per store, right? So I'm not sure that they're entirely set up for this industry. They've shunned it already. They may not get those people back. So other companies that are already doing it may benefit from that, either through market share or a potential buyout. I don't know. We're just going to find out.
With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.